Welcome on Estimate and to another edition of Raw Out of 10. And of course, it's a big show today because it is the Raw before Payback. So yeah, we got lots going on. Final wheel for that. Obviously, the World Heavyweight titles on the line there, and yeah, we got several big matches throughout the cards, including one that kicked us off, which was Damian Priest versus Sami Zayn. So let's get straight into it. And Sami Zayn opened the show to a rowdy crowd singing along to the entrance music. It's cut off by Damian Priest. Mr. Money in the Bank, or Senior Money in the Bank, had a clear height and power advantage, but Zayn didn't allow himself to be pushed around. He got in a lot of offense before Priest took over and started dominating. So many of the judgments made to matches involved the other members of the group. It's a nice change to just have him riding alone. Unfortunately for Zayn, JD McDonough interfered and costing the match. Priest was unhappy about it and shoved the Irishman to about it. This allowed KO and Sami to take him out while the Judgment Day member left of his own services. This is a good match while they left out the room there. The tag match is about to be a lot of fun with Payback and the Judgment Day, and of course that all times into it there. And Jack gets 7 out of 10 from me. Sami getting a win now, I think causes tension within Judgment Day. Also gets a tag chance, big win. Damian Priest flying under the radar as Money in the Bank. It all worked really nicely before it's time for the New Day against the Viking Raiders. And yeah, The Miz came out to LA Knight's theme song and dressed like him as he gave a promo while doing an impression of the megastar. Once the crowd started getting into it, the A-lister took off the outfit and started ranting about how the crowd will cheer for anything and how anyone can pander. We then saw Kofi Kingston and Xavier Woods take on the Viking Raiders. These two teams have been in the ring with many times, so this was no means a fresh encounter. McIntyre and Riddle watched from the commentary table. Woods and Eric with a nice exchange. The Vikings took control and isolated Woods for it, but it didn't take too long for Kingston to help his partner turn around. Valhalla was at ringside but didn't have much of an impact. It renovated being a standard tag match, and the pace was steady. They had good chemistry. The contest evolved into mayhem at ringside when McIntyre and Riddle got involved. This led to Eric and Ivar hitting Ragnarok for the win. And yeah, big win for them. Gets 6 out of 10 from me. Solid stuff. I thought the Viking Raiders getting a win is a big run for them. And just before that as well, of course, the LA Knight Miz stuff. I thought that was good as well. Really building up LA Knight and the Miz for that match. LA Knight especially. I think it could be a good opportunity for him to get a big rub and potentially do something more than that. Fingers crossed at least. Next up was Chad Gable versus Ludwig Kaiser. Kenta delivered his promo while standing on an statement and said he would defend the IC title against Gable next week, but had to fight Kaiser. Now, this wasn't the first time we've seen these two lock horns, but it was definitely their best encounter. Everything they did was very smooth. The match lasted 2 full segments, so they had more than enough time to put one of the best performances in the night. Unfortunately, ended due to interference, which led to a big brawl with Otis and Vinci. But yeah, kind of aside from the ending, this was a really good match, as you'd expect with the two men involved, which worked nicely. Gable really getting built up for this IC title match, and I really like what they're doing with it. As well. So yeah, that all worked nicely for me. So yeah, get 6 out of 10 for me. Good stuff. Seth Rollins then came to the ring to talk about his upcoming match against Nakamura and paid tribute to Bray Wyatt, which was lovely. Video package played for the artist while the Vision Room was still in the ring. Nakamura ended up attacking Rollins from behind while he was talking and kicked him in the face to knock him out. Ciampa and Reed then had their rematch after Rollins cleared the ring, but Reed started the fight early by attacking his opponents during his entrance. The former NXT champion ended up getting the upper hand as we went for a commercial. Reed is great at working with smaller competitors, while Ciampa was great at working with just anybody, so he managed to make this fun a lot of counter and the time they were allotted. The ending was kind of where things fell apart. Ciampa tried for a crucifix and was unable to get his body down around Reed, so when they went down for the pin it didn't look good. Yeah, that kind of dragged down from the overall match, which wasn't bad. And yeah, I kind of feel like at both these men are just at the point where they really need something new. I'm just waiting for Gargano to return as well. I think that'd be massive for Ciampa, but yeah, kind of just at that point with both these men unfortunately. So yeah, 5 out of 10. But hopefully things can improve both of them soon. It was then time for Becky Lynch versus Zoe Stark in the main event. Overall, Rhea Ripley and Dominic Mysterio were out before that, though. Give a break about the promo, but it ended up turning as far as Raquel Rodriguez that ended with the Judgment Day members retreated. It only took a couple of minutes for Trish Stratus to make her presence felt, though, by hitting the man with a kendo stick, and she continued to get involved, and Lynch finally hit her down and chased the Hall of Famer and beat her with a kendo stick until she ran out. Starks and Lynch not only developed great chemistry as opponents, but they also were talented performances in their own right. Even though the Trish stuff was a bit much at times, they ended up engaging match. The feud had probably run its course after this match at Payback, and after a few spots, Lynch picks up the women manhandles some off the table. So I think, yeah, kind of works out both ways. Builds up the feud, but not too much. And really put Zoe Stark over as well. So I think this is a nice main event to Raw. 7 out of 10. And overall, Raw this week gets 6 out of 10 for me. Yeah, I saw the episode of Raw, I would say. Without being too remarkable, kind of felt like it wasn't a go home show for pay-per-view, but on the whole I think we've got enough stuff built, and yeah, kind of a lot of stuff happening on the Raw side this weekend. But anyway guys, that's it for you. Thanks so much for watching. Like, share, subscribe. That's all that's going over daily wrestling, and subscribe to the channel is going to be greatly appreciated. Thanks so much for watching. Peace.